Yeah, it's one of those things where you just have to have a very strong um, resilience to focus on what your goal is and not let small things about what you're wearing get in your way. Had a conversation with one of the judges about my solo routine that I did previously, and she said her first thing that she had a problem with was what I was wearing. Um, and this came up, it was like, okay, and I didn't even respond to it. I was like, okay, I love this. Whatever you say is not going to change well all the work that I put into getting that costume made. um, I had to fight with, well, not fight with, well, I had to have deliberations with the seamstress who I went through two seamstresses to make that suit. And they didn't think it was FINA, the world. FINA is the Federation International in Aquatics, but you can put that in later. But she didn't think that was a FINA rule, and that was also, it's like I said, there's no rule that says that a man, it has nothing to do with sex in their rules. So once you have that open door, then I'm going to take advantage of that, or we're going to take advantage of that. Um, and it has to do with identity. How do you feel? What is part of your body?
Yeah, because there's always that, like that's particularly, let's say, women with high testosterone is a terrible thing, but men with high testosterone isn't a terrible thing, and they're perfectly natural. Because I think a lot of our segregation comes from just historical ideas that when girls hit puberty, they suddenly aren't allowed to play with the boys anymore. But having, I guess, done things like the army, there aren't, like, British Army does still have segregation in certain roles, but there are plenty of women who go and do the same training as the men and do the same things. So I think it's just, if an individual can play at a level, they should be allowed to play at that level. It doesn't matter what their sex is.
We do have a trans person on our team who transitioned while on the team. And it was interesting, and I'm now going to add this, that part of that's during his transition, he had to wear a full body suit, which is what I've been calling it since we had the discussion. Yeah. I never used the term women or men's suit. I've never done that. I said full body, brief, boxer. That's it. And it was difficult to sort of get that mindset into people who aren't used to thinking in those terms, to say, we are making the decision on a team, if the women or men's. No, I'm saying full cut and brief. Our team member had to wear a full body suit during his transition. And there was some not so nice comments from teammates that they felt uncomfortable with him wearing this suit during his transition. I had to say to him, look, this is a team where he can do whatever the F he wants, the hell he wants. Why would you have a problem with this and make this uncomfortable? Let's talk to you about what's making you uncomfortable.
I think even in environments that are supposed to be trans or supposed to be welcoming and friendly, they're dominated by cisgender people and their attitudes. They don't say it's because someone's trans. They say it's because they're dangerous, or they're not skilled, and that's how it's used to exclude. So there are still ways of excluding without explicitly saying it, and there's not necessarily always enough people willing to stand up and do anything about it. But the majority of it is focused on trans women and, I guess, intersex women who are, well, intersex people who identify as women, because it's always seen about how unfair or how dangerous you are. Like, you're going to be dangerous because you're bigger and stronger. It's unfair because you're bigger and stronger, and it's like, it's something that doesn't encourage you to do it.
Early on when we would swim, people would sometimes say stupid shit. Yep. Or give me stupid looks. And Susie would use her white privilege to check that person, right, to run interference, to be the barrier between me and some kind of traumatic trigger. And she would do that regularly, whether that was in the pool, whether that was in the locker room, whether that was at the front desk. And she would do it again and again and again. And she would ask me, she would check in with me, are you okay? Sometimes I would say yes, please. Sometimes I would say no. But that is a role that white people need to play in the struggle.
That's right.
And she exemplifies what that looks like, because it's not easy. It's not easy to say, do I need to check that person who just said that stupid shit to you?
Trying to encourage sports to think about not following the traditional binary approach as well, and giving people the opportunities to try. The ideal environment would just be things, having teams making clear statements of inclusivity, and having events that are not necessarily so binary focused, so that you're not, I guess, in having less binary focus means that it's easier to feel included, even if you've got a clear identity one way or the other. If you can sort of fit in just with a group of people, even if it's not binary focused and anyone's welcome, rather than it being a men's team or a women's team. Or if it's just talking about people being able to go swimming, something as simple as a lot of swimming pools have this, is just having swimming changing rooms that have individual cubicles that everyone changes in, because sort of having, I think we've got that a lot around in the UK. We don't have separate, we often in the big leisure centres you don't have separate men and women's changing rooms. You might have different shower rooms, but even that, having things like cubicles so people can go where they are, so you're not having this terrible fear that someone's going to be exposing themselves and just say, well, the simple fact is people are uncomfortable generally with nakedness. People shouldn't be naked in sort of the public areas. You have the private changing rooms.
For the levels we compete at, I think it is just so freeing. You just put everybody in the same box, or not in a box, but just let you do what you want, and don't put people in boxes. I think once you have all these divisions, men are here, women are here, it really fosters these stereotypes that carry over from sport into the rest of life.
If they have the category non-binary and trans, I would have no problem with it. I think that would be the next step to happen.
Yeah.
At this event, I think that would be a conversation that, because like I said, if you have that conversation, people have to think first before they think, okay, there is something different, or that there is room for more inclusion in the sport.